Welcome to the classic ABAP track. You have completed the foundation modules, the language, the data types, the control structures, the database, and the debugging tools. Now we start building the real deliverables. Reports, forms, interfaces, and enhancements that are the daily work of an ABAP developer on an SAP project. We start with classical reports. They are 40 years old, and they are still running in production systems worldwide. You will maintain them, extend them, and occasionally build new ones where the business needs a fixed format printout. This module gives you everything you need. By the end of this module, you will be able to write a complete classical list report using write, skip, and uline. You will build selection screens with parameters and select options, validate user input using at selection screen events, add page headers and footers with TOP-OF page and END-OF page, build a two-level interactive drill-down list using hide and at line selection, handle custom toolbar function codes with at user command and set PF status, and explain when to use a classical list versus the ALV grid. Every classical report starts with the report statement. 3 options matter most. Line size sets the number of characters per line. 132 is the classic wide format used for landscape printing. Line count sets lines per page. 65 for A4 landscape. NO standard page heading suppresses the generic SAP header, so you can write your own with TOP-OF page. The write statement outputs data to the list. A / at the start means start a new line. Without it, output continues on the same line. You can specify an exact column position. Write /5 means new line starting at column 5. Separate items with a comma to continue on the same line. Formatting additions on write are powerful. Currency GBP formats a packed decimal with the correct decimal places and thousands separator for that currency. DD/MM/YYYY formats a date field. AS checkbox renders a character field as a tick box. Under positions output directly under a previously written field, useful for aligning totals. Skip outputs a blank line. Skip 2 outputs 2. Uline draws a horizontal line across the full line width, or uline at /5, 60. Draws 60 characters starting at column 5. For system fields are essential in list output. SY linked for lines per page, SY lino for the current line number, SY pagno for the current page, and SY colno for the current column. Parameters creates a single value input field on the selection screen, the dialog box that appears when the user runs the report. The most important option is type. Always declare type referencing a DDIC field or data element rather than a raw ABAP type. This gives you the domain check table, the F4 search help, and the field label automatically. For example, parameters p_buckers type buckers gives you the company code domain. The system validates that the entered value actually exists in T001 and provides a drop-down of all company codes. Without type, you get none of that. Default provides a pre-filled starting value. Obligatory adds a red asterisk and prevents execution if the field is empty. Lowercase preserves lowercase input, essential for file paths or passwords. AS checkbox renders the parameter as a tick box. Radio button groups radio buttons. Only one in the group can be selected at a time. Modify D assigns a group identifier used with loop at screen to dynamically show, hide, or gray out fields based on other selections. Select options gives the user a range input, a from value and a to value, plus the ability to add multiple individual values, ranges, and exclude criteria, all in one control. Always declare select options using for followed by a database table field. Select options C01 for echo EBLM. This links the range to the DDIC field, giving it the correct type, F4 help, and conversion exit. Unlike parameters, which generates a simple scalar variable, select options generates an internal table with the SLOP structure. Each row has sign, I for include, E for exclude, option for the comparison operator like EQ or BT for between, low for the low value, and high for the high value in a range. In your select statement, use the IN operator, where EBLM IN C01. ABAP builds the SQL dynamically from the range table. You can also use IN for in-code checks. If ls_EBLM IN so_. The key differences from parameters. Select options supports ranges, multiple values, and exclusions. Use it whenever the user might need to select more than one value or a range. The selection screen is not just a passive form. It fires events you can react to. At selection screen fires when the user presses execute. This is where you validate the full set of inputs. A message with type E redisplays the screen with the error text. Execution does not proceed. A message type I shows an information pop-up and then continues. At selection screen on followed by a parameter name fires when the user tabs off that specific field. Use this for immediate validation, checking that a vendor number exists in LFA1 as soon as the user moves away from the field. If you raise a message type E here, the field is highlighted in red. At selection screen output is the most powerful event. It fires just before the screen is displayed. Every time. This is where you do dynamic screen modification. Use loop at screen, check each field's group ID, set screen active to 0 to hide it or screen input to 0 to make it read-only, then modify screen. This is how you show or hide fields based on which radio button is selected. Classical reports support automatic page events. TopOF page fires at the very start of every new page. Write your report title, run date, page number, and column headings here. Every time ABAP needs a new page, either because line count is reached or because you called new page, TopOF page fires automatically. NDOF page fires when the page is full. Write your page totals here. Use a global variable gv_page_total that you accumulate during the main loop, then print and clear it in ENDOF page. 2 useful statements. Reserve n-lines checks whether n-lines fit on the current page. If not, it starts a new page before continuing, preventing orphaned headings. New page explicitly forces a page break. Classical lists support interactive drill down. The user double-clicks a summary line and sees detail for that row. This is the @line selection event combined with the hide statement. In your summary list, after writing each line, use hide followed by the field you want to associate with that line. Hide ls_vendor listener. The hide statement stores the field value invisibly, attached to the line just written. You can hide multiple fields on one line. When the user double-clicks @line selection fires. The system field SYLily contains the line number that was clicked. Use readLine SYLily field value ls_vendor listener to retrieve the hidden value. Then use that value listener in this case to select the detail data and write a new detailed list. The system field SYL sign tracks the current list level. 0 for the basic list, 1 for the first detail level, 2 for a subdetail. You can have up to 9 levels. The back statement returns the user to the previous level. Always check that the retrieved hide value is not initial. The user might have clicked a header line that has no hide value. You can add custom toolbar buttons to a classical list using transaction C01, the menu painter. Create a GUI status for your program, assign function codes to toolbar positions and function keys, and activate it. In your report, activate the status with set PF status followed by the status name in quotes. Do this inside TopOF page so it applies from the first page. Then handle the user's actions in @user command. The system field SYUCOM contains the function code the user triggered. Use a case statement to handle each code. Always handle back, exit, and canc, the 3 standard navigation function codes. Without these, the user cannot leave the list cleanly. Leave program exits the program entirely. Leave list processing leaves list mode and returns to the selection screen. Slight standard. For all new development, use the ALV grid. The ALV grid gives users interactive sorting, filtering, column hiding, drag-and-drop column reordering, and built-in export to Excel, CSV, and PDF, all for free, with no additional coding. The classical list requires you to code every one of those features manually. Use classical lists when you are maintaining existing classical list code. The business requires a fixed format printout where exact character positioning matters, such as a pre-printed form, or you need a specific output event like TopOF page that has no ALV equivalent. We cover ALV in the next 2 modules. C02 for the functional API, and C03 for the object-oriented approach. For mistakes that trip up developers on classical reports. First, forgetting the / on write. Without it, all output runs on the same line. Write/text starts a new line. Write text does not. Second, declaring parameters without type. Without type, there is no domain check, no F4 search help, and no field label from the DDIC. Always use type referencing a DDIC field. Third, no validation in at selection screen. If the user enters an invalid company code and you do not check, the select returns 0 rows and the report prints nothing. The user does not know why. Validate all inputs and give clear error messages. Fourth, not using red line in at line selection. The temptation is to use SYLISL, the full text of the selected line, and parse the vendor number out of it as a string. This is fragile and breaks when column positions change. Always use hide and read line to retrieve structured data reliably. Classical list reports are a foundational skill you will use when maintaining the vast body of existing ABAP code in SAP systems. The report statement sets the canvas. Write with the / outputs each line. Parameters gives single values. Select options gives ranges. At selection screen, events validate and dynamically modify the screen. Top OF page and ENDOF page fire at page boundaries for headings and totals. Hide plus at line selection plus read line delivers interactive drill down. Set PF status plus at user command handles custom toolbar buttons. For new development, choose ALV. We start that in C02. Your lab for this module is on Slight Sandbox. You will build a complete Acme Manufacturing PO report with a proper selection screen, page headers, vendor-level summary with drill down to PO line items, and a custom export toolbar button. Good luck!